Our mini lecture today is on Module 24, Thinking. How do we think? Now, this may seem like a big vocabulary lesson to you, but a lot of these terms go in with how our brain works and what we do to be able to think and to be able to enact for ourselves. Thinking deals a lot with our cognitive abilities and the activities with thinking, knowing, and remembering. That's a big thing. We think, we have to know, we have to remember. We have to be able to use our brain. That's dealing with our cognitive abilities. Thinking deals around the main thing of a concept. Grouping based on shared similarities. This is an item that may be in your environment. A concept, something that you wrap your brain around, something that is going on. A prototype, though, is the best example of a concept, how you incorporate a certain concept. That's a prototype, the best example, okay, to be able to categorize it. Now, a concept hierarchy is a way to keep information organized within your brain. Now, you may have looked at these three words, concept, prototype, and concept hierarchy, and say, I have no idea what my teacher here just said during this. Let's break it down a little more. Now, you're teenagers, and one thing that teenagers like are cars. Concept hierarchy with this whole thing would be like this. You have a concept. A concept, the idea that you want to create a new vehicle. A prototype is the model. You choose the best of that. When cars are first made, now I drive a Hyundai Genesis. I used to drive an Audi. Those cars have been perfected over the years. You have different models, and when a new model comes out, you have the best, they pick the best of those, the one that meets all the performance, the tests, and everything before they mass produce. The concept hierarchy is arranging that. So in this situation here, vehicles, very generic, okay, that's a concept. Very generic vehicles, we see them on the roadways. Break it down. You've got cars and you've got trucks. You break cars down, you have sedans, which is like what I drive, a SUV, a sport utility vehicle, or a convertible. You've got that. Trucks, on the other hand, you talk about pickup trucks, semi-trucks. If someone says in your class they own a truck, they are most likely not talking about a tractor-trailer 18-wheeler. If they did, wow, okay? But most people are talking about pickup trucks, okay? That's what they mean. You get it down. You can say, I drive a car. Well, what kind do you drive? Okay, that's what it is. So I hope that explains a little bit better where you got a concept, you've got your prototype, and your concept hierarchy. Now, an algorithm is a problem-solving strategy that guarantees a solution to a problem. This is how you are going to find a solution. It's going to guarantee a solution. This is problem solving. But is it always going to be the most effective method of solving? No. An algorithm is going to give you an answer. Okay? You've got an issue out here. For example, you've got, let's just say this would be research that someone in a doctoral degree would do. Can parent involvement improve students' standardized test scores? You've got a problem. You're going to do an algorithm to find an answer to that. You're going to get a solution. Is it always going to be your solution you want? Not necessarily. Okay. Insight is the sudden realization of a solution to a problem. This is the light bulb going off in your head. Okay. Just the click, the aha. I get it. I understand. Okay. This is like a lot of people would use this. I get what you would in your head be mathematics. Mental set is the tendency to approach a problem in a particular way. You go down a certain avenue of how you're going to answer this. It may or may not be helpful in solving a new problem. Sometimes you may go a little bit more than you actually need to solve. Fixation is a mental set that hinders the solution to a problem, where you're going to get stuck. For example, when I was a student and I was in elementary school, we would have math problems. And some of these math problems would say, Johnny has a blue basket filled with 12 red apples. I would get stuck on, why is the basket blue? Why does he have them in a basket? I don't understand. Okay, That's fixation, where you hinder the solution to a problem because you get fixated on one idea. People put up walls in front of them, and that's the issue here with fixation. You need to think beyond this. My mother used to always say, okay, let's cut out. We don't need to know he has a blue basket or anything. He's got 12 apples, okay? And he's got to take away 5. How many is that? And it's 7. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Availability heuristic is estimating likelihood of events based on availability and memory. These can be correct or incorrect. Availability is what's in your mind to be able to help you. All right, some people might call this selective memory. Okay, especially with older people, and you'll see this too. Go ask grandparents or great-grandparents or parents about events in their history and see what the stories are behind it. And your grandparents actually may be very interested. I remember sitting and listening to my grandparents talk about events of old, and they look at each other and say, that's not how it happened. And they would back and forth each other. That's the availability heuristic. What is in their mindset to be able to make them recall a memory? Overconfidence is when confidence is greater than accuracy. Okay? When you have thought a lot and you believe you can so do it and it's greater than your accuracy, so you might not necessarily land where you want to. Many people, for example, SpaceX, one of my favorite things to watch when astronauts go into outer space. And SpaceX company did a lot of prototype and pushing and everything to be able to get their goal of getting an astronaut to the International Space Station and then back to Earth again. At first, yes, it was a little overconfident with some things, and some issues happened on test, but they actually got that all straightened out and pushed forward with that. Okay, overconfidence can occur, but you don't always want to outweigh the accuracy of what you can. Don't push yourself too far than what you can do. And framing, how is an issue worded or presented? This can influence your decisions and how you think and how you judge. For example, as I mentioned in math, how a question is framed, putting all the information in. You need bare basic to be able to understand. Frame it so people can understand. And that today is our mini lesson on thinking.